Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. Daily COVID recoveries continue to outnumber new cases for the ninth consecutive day. Recovery rate improves to 87.76%. Over 2,57,000 fresh cases reported in the country in last 24 hours. Centre provides 23,680 additional vials of amphotericin B to states and UTs to check the rising number of black fungus cases. Bangalore-based startup develops electrochemical test ELISA to estimate accurate antibody concentration of COVID-19. Government asks states and union territories to create a pool of trained drivers to transport hazardous cargo due to increase in transportation of liquid oxygen. Oxygen Express with all-female crew transports 120-ton medical oxygen from Jolarpettai in Tamil Nadu to Bengaluru. Odisha government puts on high alert all coastal and nearby districts in view of cyclone Yas. More than 17% more wheat procured during current Rabi marketing season compared to same period last year. Today is International Biodiversity Day. And Hockey India gets ETN Glitch Award by International Hockey Federation. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, take all precautions, and all those above 45 years who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with the second dose at the scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. India's daily COVID recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the ninth consecutive day. The nation is also witnessing substantial decrease in total number of active cases, and the COVID recovery rate has further spiked to 87.76%. So far, over 2 crore 30 lakh people have recovered from the COVID-19 infection in the country. The Health Ministry has informed that in the past 24 hours, over 3,57,000 COVID patients successfully recovered from the disease and over 2,57,000 fresh cases were recorded nationwide. Over 4,000 COVID-related deaths have also been reported in the last 24 hours. Currently, over 29 lakh people are infected by coronavirus in the country. The number of cumulative COVID-19 testing reported by ICMR has surpassed the figure of 32 crore 64 lakh. Around 21 lakh samples were tested in the last 24 hours. So far, over 19 crore 33 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been inoculated in the country. In Chhattisgarh, the second wave of COVID infection has slowed down, with daily positive cases declining to less than 5,000 after a span of 1.5 months. The number of deaths has also come down to less than 100, while the state's average test positivity rate has dropped to 8%. 14 districts of the state have registered a positivity rate of 8% or less. Meanwhile, the government, in association with the NGOs and social organizations, is disseminating valuable information on prevention of corona infection and also motivate people on COVID vaccination. The combined efforts have started yielding desired results in rural areas of some districts of the state. A report.
In Bhilai city of Chhattisgarh, women self-help groups under the National Livelihood Mission are playing an important role in the vaccination of people. These women have been trained and deployed at the help desk set up in the vaccination centers, where they help people to complete all the formalities, including registration required for the vaccination. In Rajnathgaon district of the state, teams have been formed comprising Kotwar, Village Patel, Panchayat Secretary, Anganwadi workers and teachers, as well as other local people at polling station level to get control of corona infection. These teams are motivating villagers for vaccination as well as they are ensuring the adherence of COVID-appropriate behavior among the villagers. In Sarguja division of the state, the villagers of Odgi block of Surajpur and the Tibetan refugees residing in the Manpat area have set an example of awareness for COVID vaccination. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Madhya Pradesh continues to witness dip in new COVID cases. There are 17 districts in the state where the rate of infection has come down to less than 5%. More from our correspondent.
In Madhya Pradesh, the number of recovered people has more than doubled as compared to new corona patients. According to the health bulletin, 4,384 new patients were found in the state yesterday, while the number of recovered patients was 9,405. At present, there are 67,625 active patients in the state. Of these, about 65% in the home isolation. Last month, the number of active patients reached over 1 lakh, which is now declining rapidly. News of relief is that not a single patient died in 27 districts of the state yesterday. Rashid Ahmed Khan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has urged the central government to provide adequate doses of COVID vaccines for the continuation of the vaccination drive in the city. He has also urged to increase the vaccine quota of Delhi amid reported shortage of vaccines in the national capital. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Mr. Kejriwal has said vaccination drive for people aged above 18 years has been halted in Delhi from today and several vaccination centers have been shut due to paucity of the vaccine. He said vaccination centers will be completely shut from tomorrow for youth. The Chief Minister said Delhi government has asked the central government to provide the doses of vaccines. He said Delhi needs 80 lakh doses of vaccine every month. He said so far 50 lakh vaccine doses have been administered to the people of Delhi and an additional 2 crore 50 lakh additional doses are required to cover all beneficiaries.
Karnataka government has extended the lockdown in the state till 6 a.m. on the 7th of June. Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa said the decision was taken at a high-level meeting with senior officials and ministers. The existing lockdown was to end on the 24th of May. Karnataka Chief Minister also said that the state government has decided to give free treatment for mucormycosis patients in the government district hospitals. COVID-19 vaccination for 18 to 44 age group has also begun from today. During the program, frontline workers are being given priority over other eligible persons. In view of the rising cases of mucormycosis, known as black fungus, Health and Family Welfare Ministry has advised all the states and union territories to review their preparedness for the prevention and control of this fungal disease. Mucormycosis is a fungal complication being detected in COVID-19 patients and affects mostly those who are suffering from diabetes. The Union Health Secretary has written a letter to the Chief Secretaries and Administrators of all the states and Union Territories asking them to establish the Hospital Infection Control Committee and designate an Infection Prevention and Control Nodal Officer. It has also asked to prepare and implement the Infection Prevention Control Program in the hospital and health facilities.
Chemical and Fertilizers Minister D.V. Sadanand Gowda has said that after a detailed review of rising number of cases of mucormycosis in various states, a total of 23,680 additional vials of amphotericin B have been allocated to all states and union territories today. In a tweet, Mr. Gowda said the allocation has been made based on total number of patients, which is approximately 8,848 across the country. Puducherry Lieutenant Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan has said that 20 persons, including a couple of government servants, were affected by mucormycosis, also known as black fungus, in the Union Territory. More from our Puducherry correspondent.
Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan said that a black fungus is spreading fast in Puducherry and those suffering the ailment should not take medicines on their own but approach hospitals for treatment. She further said that a black fungus infection would soon be declared as a notifiable disease under the Epidemic Disease Act 1897. Meanwhile, to meet out the scarcity of medicine, Dr. Tamilisai got 10 doses of the drug from Telangana. All hospitals are instructed to inform the health department about the patients if they spotted with the symptoms of the black fungus. On the other side, the Puducherry Department of Drug Control issued a circular to the chemists not to give any medicine for black fungus directly to the patients. Chandramohan, AR News, Puducherry.
The second wave of COVID-19 resulted in an increased number of patients. In this wave, the need for oxygen was also increased along with other medical treatment. With an aim to help people who are in need of oxygen, Gurudwara Sahib in Kharghar at Navi Mumbai has started distributing free oxygen cylinders to COVID-19 patients. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Gurudwara Sahib in Kharghar at Navi Mumbai is distributing oxygen cylinders to COVID-19 patients free of cost. They have started this oxygen langar seva from 22nd April. As a part of the service, small oxygen cylinders and jumbo cylinders are provided free of cost. For this, deposits are accepted from those who can afford it and free cylinders are made available to those who cannot afford. Kashmir Singh from Gurudwara Sahib said that apart from Navi Mumbai, COVID-19 patients from Mumbai, Satara and Sangli have also benefited from this oxygen service.
लंगर की तो हम करते थे, ये ऑक्सीजन की हमने जो दुनिया को देखा, न्यूज़ सुना, 20 तारीख से बाद से लेके अभी तक हम ऑक्सीजन बड़े सिलेंडर और छोटे सिलेंडर की सेवा कर रहे हैं। कम से कम भी हमने 300 सिलेंडर छोटे वाले की लोगों की मदद किया है और इसके ऊपर बड़े वाले सिलेंडरों की मदद किया है। प्रोसीजर जो है पहले उसकी कोरोना रिपोर्ट देखते हैं, उसके बाद आधार कार्ड लेते हैं, उसका डिपॉजिट 7,000 रुपए लेके फिर उसको सिलेंडर देते हैं।
Through this oxygen langar seva, Gurudwara Sahib has set a new standard of humanity. Madhuri Pange with Swapna Hararkar, AIR News, Mumbai.
A Bangalore-based startup has developed a novel point-of-care electrochemical ELISA test that enables fast and accurate estimation of total antibody concentration of COVID-19 in clinical samples. Path Shodh Healthcare, the startup incubated at the Society for Innovation and Development, Indian Institute of Science, has made a very significant breakthrough to develop the first of its kind semi-quantitative electrochemical ELISA test for COVID-19 IgM and IgG antibodies.
Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has asked states and union territories to create a pool of train drivers for transporting hazardous cargo due to an increase in the need for transportation of liquid oxygen. The ministry has asked states and UTs to quickly train drivers in handling hazardous chemicals and liquid oxygen through a short program and apprenticeship. The ministry said HMV license holders should also be skilled in hazardous chemicals and LMO handling through such programs. States and union territories have also been requested to recommend some local drivers with HMV or hazardous chemical license to opt for these training programs. It has also been advised that liquid oxygen tanker drivers must be facilitated with a special COVID vaccination drive and priority in admission and treatment in hospitals in case they are found COVID infected. Only trained drivers with adequate training and having hazardous cargo license are allowed to operate liquid oxygen trucks. Therefore, there is an urgent need to make a large pool of trained drivers available who can supplement and replace the existing drivers, keeping in mind 24/7 operations. The 7th Oxygen Express, carrying 120 tons of liquid medical oxygen, arrived in Bangalore yesterday. This express train was piloted by an all-female crew from Jolarpettai Junction in Tamil Nadu to Whitefield in Bangalore. Both loco pilot and assistant loco pilot were female crew. The most essential oxygen loaded onto the Oxygen Express in 6 containers had started from Tata Nagar in Jharkhand on Thursday evening and arrived in Bangalore yesterday at 9:20 a.m. The 8th Oxygen Express, carrying 109.2 tons of liquid medical oxygen in 9 cryogenic containers, had started from Kanalus near Jamnagar in Gujarat on Thursday night and arrived in Bangalore early morning today at 3:15 a.m. A signal-free green corridor was created by the railways to enable swift transportation of oxygen to save the life of COVID patients in the state. So far, Karnataka has received 942.14 tons of liquid medical oxygen by rail. The Indian Railways has run 208 Oxygen Express trains so far and transported nearly 13,319 tons of liquid medical oxygen in 814 tankers to assist the state governments across the country in their fight against COVID-19.
The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that more than 1 crore 60 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories. The ministry has said the central government has provided over 21 crore 33 lakh COVID vaccine doses to the states and union territories so far. Of this, the total consumption of doses including wastages is over 19 crore 73 lakh. The ministry has assured that more than 2,67,000 vaccine doses will be provided to states and union territories within the next 3 days. The Union Health Ministry has said vaccination is a crucial pillar in the fight against COVID, and a third phase of COVID-19 vaccination has already started in the country. It said the central government has also been facilitating direct procurement of vaccines by the states and union territories. Every crisis in the life gives us some lesson. The same is true for COVID-19 pandemic also. Renowned satirist Prem Janmejay says, in these testing times, we should overcome our fears together to defeat the coronavirus.
ये हम सब के लिए पूरी मानवीय सभ्यता, जीवन मूल्यों, मानव जीवन के लिए कठिन समय है। पिछले 1.25 वर्ष से कोरोना जैसे हमारी परीक्षा ले रहा है। जब आपदा आती है तो लोगों के असली रंग दिखने लगते हैं। एकजुटता एक बहुत बड़ी थीम है और कोरोना महामारी हमें सिखा रही है कि इंसानों में नफरत करने से ज्यादा पसंद करने की वजह मिल रही हैं। निश्चित ही एक भय हम जी रहे हैं, पर मेरा मानना है कि हमारा सबसे बड़ा शत्रु कोरोना नहीं है, ये भय है। डर दवा नहीं है, रोग है। हमें बहुत सावधानी की आवश्यकता है। यही विपत्ति नहीं, हर विपत्ति में मुझे तुलसीदास का एक दोहा याद आता है। तुलसी साथी विपत्ति के, विद्या विनय विवेक, साहस सुकृति सुसत्यव्रत, राम भरोसो एक।
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring an exclusive interview with Director of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. Ishwar V. Vasavaraddi, on role of yoga during COVID pandemic in the program Surkhiyon Mein. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 7:40 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Daily COVID recoveries continue to outnumber new cases for the 9th consecutive day. Recovery rate improves to 87.76%. Over 2,57,000 fresh cases reported in the country in the past 24 hours. Centre provides 23,680 additional vials of amphotericin B to states and union territories to check a rising number of black fungus cases. Bangalore-based startup develops electrochemical test ELISA to estimate accurate antibody concentration of COVID-19. Government asks states and union territories to create pool of train drivers to transport hazardous cargo due to increase in transportation of liquid oxygen. Oxygen Express with all-female crew transports 120 tons of medical oxygen from Jularpettai in Tamil Nadu to Bengaluru. Odisha government puts on high alert all coastal and nearby districts in view of cyclone Yas. More than 17% more wheat procured during current Rabi marketing season compared to the same period last year. Today is International Biodiversity Day and Hockey India gets Etienne Glitchitich Award by International Hockey Federation. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. Odisha government has put all the coastal and nearby districts on high alert in view of the cyclone Yas in the Bay of Bengal. In addition, all the line departments including health, electricity and water supply have been put in readiness to respond to any cyclone-related exigencies. Adequate numbers of NDRF and ODRAF teams will also be relocated for rescue and relief operations once the exact place of landfall is ascertained. At least 14 districts have been put on high alert in the state. Meanwhile, the Odisha government has also asked the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard to be prepared for the emerging situation. After meeting the senior officers, Odisha Chief Secretary S.C. Mohapatra said that the state administration is ready if Cyclone Yas has any impact on the state. IMD has predicted a cyclonic storm will cross Odisha West Bengal coast by 26th of May morning, which has been termed Cyclone Yas. The government has said that 17% more wheat has been procured during current Rabi marketing season in comparison to the corresponding period last year. The Consumer Affairs Ministry said a quantity of over 382 lakh tons of wheat has been procured against the last year corresponding purchase of 324 lakh tons. The ministry said about 39,55,000 farmers have already been benefited from the ongoing procurement operations, with minimum support price value of over 75,514 crore rupees.
The central government has notified and revised the rate of variable dearness allowance (VDA) with a view to provide relief to different categories of workers engaged in various scheduled employments in the central sphere. The Labour and Employment Minister, Santosh Gangwar, has said that this will benefit about 1 crore 50 lakh workers. The hike will be effective from the 1st of April 2021. The VDA is revised on the basis of average consumer price index for industrial workers, a price index compiled by the Labour Bureau. National Thermal Power Corporation (NTPC) has helped over 150 villages in and around its operational area in Moda, Maharashtra, to overcome water crisis through groundwater rejuvenation project. The public sector undertaking under the Power Ministry has done this as part of its corporate social responsibility initiative.
The banned outfit Ulfa independent faction has released the abducted employee of ONGC Ritul Saikia. He was abducted by the outfit last month along with 2 others from Lakwa in Assam. While the 2 abducted persons were released, Ritul was in the custody of the outfit in Myanmar. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma appealed the outfit to release him. After that, Ulfa Chief Paresh Barua released Ritul Saikia. He is now in the custody of Assam police and is likely to reach home at Jorhat soon. The Puducherry Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan has appointed the NR Congress legislator Lakshmi Narayanan as the pro tem speaker of the Puducherry Legislative Assembly. The Assembly Secretary Munisamy issued a notification to this effect yesterday evening. Mr. Lakshmi Narayanan, who is elected from the Raj Bhavan constituency, will take oath as the pro tem speaker soon.
Minister for Environment, Forests and Climate Change, Prakash Javadekar, has said that India has a culture of not just conserving and protecting nature, but living in harmony with nature. In his message on International Biodiversity Day, Mr. Javadekar said it is due to these ethos that India, with only 2.4% of the Earth's land area, hosts around 8% of the world's recorded biodiversity. Here is a desk report.
The International Day for Biological Diversity, or World Biodiversity Day, is a United Nations-sanctioned international day for the promotion of biodiversity issues. As the name suggests, the day is observed to raise and create awareness about biodiversity issues. The theme of the day this year has been finalized as "We are part of the solution, #4nature." The idea behind choosing this as a theme is to draw people's attention towards the fact that biodiversity continues to be the answer for a significant number of sustainable development challenges. This year's theme is in fact in continuation with the momentum generated in 2020. Last year's theme was "Our Solution Are in Nature." The main idea behind these themes is to convey to people that conservation and rebuilding of biodiversity can help mankind find solutions to things as serious as climate change health issues. The celebration and awareness campaigns of the day this year will only be done virtually due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Tripti Srivastav, AIR News.
Today is the birth anniversary of the great social reformer Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar has paid tribute to social reformer Raja Ram Mohan Roy on his birth anniversary today. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a pioneer of Indian Renaissance who awakened social consciousness against evils such as sati practice, child marriage and casteism. Here is a report.
Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who was born on 22nd May 1772, was one of the founders of Brahmo Sabha, the precursor of the Brahmo Samaj, a social religious reform movement in India. The Brahmo Samaj played a major role in reforming and modernizing the Indian society. Ram Mohan Roy's impact on modern Indian history was his revival of the pure and ethical principles of the Vedanta school of philosophy as found in the Upanishads. He preached the unity of God, made early translations of Vedic scriptures into English, and co-founded the Calcutta Unitarian Society. He successfully campaigned against sati, the practice of burning widows and child marriage. His influence was apparent in the fields of politics, public administration, education and religion. Raja Ram Mohan Roy is considered to be the father of Bengal Renaissance by many historians. In 2004, Roy was ranked number 10 in BBC's poll of the greatest Bengalis of all time. Ravi Kumar, AIR News, New Delhi.
Renowned musician Lakshman aka Vijay Patil in Ram Lakshman duo passed away in Nagpur. He was 79 years old. Ram Lakshman was a pair of Ram aka Surendra Hendre and Vijay Patil aka Lakshman. Their debut film was Agent Vinod for Rajashri Productions. Even after the death of his partner Ram in 1976, Lakshman composed music with the same name, Ram Lakshman. He had composed music for about 75 Hindi, Marathi and Bhojpuri films. The 1989 film Maine Pyar Kiya gave the duo immense success and fame. For this, he received the Filmfare Award. The later films, Hum Aapke Hain Kaun and Hum Saath Saath Hain, were internationally acclaimed. Many dignitaries, including Lata Mangeshkar, mourned his demise. Here is another famous song from him.
गुंजे लगे हैं कहने फूलों से भी सुना है तराना प्यार का कहता है दिल लाके मिल लो मेरी जिंदगी तन्हा ना बीत जाए दिन बाहर का
Nigeria's army chief, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Attahiru, has been killed in a plane crash. President Muhammadu Buhari said he was deeply saddened by the demise of the general. General Attahiru, 54, only took up his post in January in an overhaul of the military's top brass. The Nigerian Air Force said the accident took place as the plane was landing at Kaduna International Airport. 10 other officers, including the plane's crew, also perished. Hockey India has been recognized with the Etienne Glitch Award by the International Hockey Federation FIH during the virtual conference organized as part of the 47th FIH Congress yesterday. The FIH honorary awards are given to individuals, teams and organizations for their outstanding contributions to the sport of hockey. President of Hockey India, Gyanendra Ningombam, has expressed gratitude towards FIH for recognizing Hockey India's efforts to grow the sport in India.
Now let us take a look at today's weather. The national capital Delhi will have a mainly generally cloudy sky with little light rain or drizzle. Mumbai will have a partly cloudy sky. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature was 28 degrees Celsius and maximum will go up to 37 degrees. Jammu will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 21 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 37 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 10 and 25 degrees Celsius. Leh will see a generally cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will be between 1 and 17 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a generally cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 15 and 29 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Daily COVID recoveries continue to outnumber new cases for the 9th consecutive day. Recovery rate improves to 87.76%. Over 2,57,000 fresh cases reported in the country in last 24 hours. Centre provides 23,680 additional vials of amphotericin B to states and UTs to check rising number of black fungus cases. Bangalore-based startup develops electrochemical test ELISA to estimate accurate antibody concentration of COVID-19. Government asks states and union territories to create a pool of trained drivers to transport hazardous cargo due to increase in transportation of liquid oxygen. Oxygen Express with all-female crew transports 120-ton medical oxygen from Jolarpettai in Tamil Nadu to Bengaluru. Odisha government puts on high alert all coastal and nearby districts in view of cyclone Yas. More than 17% more wheat procured during current Rabi marketing season compared to same period last year. Today is International Biodiversity Day, and Hockey India gets ETN Glitch Award by International Hockey Federation. And with that, we end the Midday News.